Hi everyone, this is Miss Sarah from the Willoughby-Eastlake Public Library System, and I am here to read Chapter 29 of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. Alright, here we go. "Oh man," said Kyle, leading his team around the balcony back to the young adult room. 9 library cards. This is fantastic." They gathered around the table. "Okay guys, time for everyone to put their cards on the table, literally." The teammates set down their cards. Kyle spread out the five from the discard bowl. Akimi pulled out a pad and wrote down all the information on one master list. Books, authors on the backs of the library cards. Number 1, Miguel Fernandez. Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan W. Eckert. No, David by David Shannon. Number 2, Akimi Hughes. 1 Fish, 2 Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss, and 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Number 3, Unknown. Number 4, Bridget Wadge. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Number 5, Sierra Russell. The Egypt Game by Zelfa Keatley Snyder. The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Number 6, Yasmin Smith Snyder. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. The Yak Who Yelled Yuck by Carol Poligliano Martin. Number 7, Sean Keegan. Olivia by Ian Faulkner and Unreal by Paul Jennings. Number 8, Unknown. Number 9, Rose Vermette. All of a Kind Family by Sidney Taylor. Scat by Carl Hyson. Number 10, Kayla Corson. Anna to the Infinite Power by Mildred Ames. Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Number 11, Unknown. Number 12, Kyle Keeley. I Love You Stinky Face by Lisa McCourt. The Napping House by Audrey Wood. Wow, said Sierra, that's a lot of good books, but what do all these authors and titles mean? It means we need Charles's, Andrew's, and Haley's cards, said Kyle. Really, said Akimi, because if you ask me, we already have way too much information. Well, maybe later we'll find a clue that'll tell us how to read this clue, said Kyle. And how are we going to do that? Asked Miguel. Have you ever played this? Kyle pointed to the Bibliomania box. Nope, always wanted to. We were just about to get up a game. Does the library have anything to do with finding our way out of the library? Does this have anything to do with us finding our way out of the library? We sure hope so, said Akimi. Awesome. By the way, Kyle said to Miguel, what did you find in the art and artifacts room? Yeah, said Akimi, all those papers you kept trying to hide from us. Miguel grinned. The original blueprints for the Gold Leaf Bank building. Clever, said Kyle. That way you could look for old exits that might still exist behind new walls. Ooh, excuse me. Find any extra exits? Asked Akimi. Nope, no hidden windows either. Yeah, what's up with that? How come they built this place with so few windows? To discourage bank robbers, I guess, said Kyle. Yep, said Miguel. The only way in was through the front door. The fire exits could only be opened from the inside, like at a movie theater. The vault itself was all the way down in the basement. Mr. Lemoncello kept all that security, said Kyle, and added his own. So it would seem. Well, hopefully Bibliomania will lead us to some kind of alternate exit. And fast, said Akimi. Don't forget, we're not the only ones playing this game. One of those other guys is probably halfway out the door already. Okay, said Kyle. Gameplay is pretty simple. You spin the spinner and advance your piece the number of spaces the needle points to. You move around the library and go to each of the 10 Dewey Decimal Rooms, where you can pick up a book by answering a clue card. If you guess wrong, you get a new clue card in the same room on your next turn. The first person to fill out 10 slots on their bookshelf and spin their way out of the library wins. It's sort of like Trivial Pursuit, said Sierra, and the questions aren't all that hard because they're mostly multiple choice. Let's hear one, said Miguel eagerly. The cards were separated into 10 multicolored mini stacks, 1 for each room. Kyle grabbed a green card. Okay, this is for the 800s room, literature. Deathly ill and pursued by the Ringwraiths, Frodo Baggins was carried safely across the river Brunnen on the gleaming white elf horse of Glorfindel named A. Asphodel, B. Asphroloth, C. Almoranian, D. Anglichel, Akimi shook her head like she was having a brain freeze. Well, huh? I think the answer might be A, said Miguel. They're all A's, said Kyle. It's B, Asphalloth, said Sierra. It's from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Kyle flipped the card over and read the answer. You are correct. You get a copy of Lord of the Rings to put on your bookshelf. So, Kyle, said Akimi, how exactly is knowing the name of an elf horse going to help us get out of the library? Maybe it's a secret code, suggested Miguel, and the 10 book titles will form a sentence telling us how to get out. Possibly, said Kyle, but I see one problem. What's that? It's too random. Mr. Lemoncello would have no idea which 10 cards we might pick. Well, said Sierra, maybe there are only 10 questions, one for each room. No, they're all different, said Akimi, grabbing different card stacks and fanning them out. Hang on, said Kyle. He was remembering something about another game, Mr. Lemoncello's indoor-outdoor scavenger hunt. How his mother had been able to write the company and request a fresh set of cards. He turned to the video camera mounted in the corner. I'd like my librarian consultation, please. What's up, Kyle? Said Miguel. I'm playing on a hunch. The holographic Mrs. Tobin appeared behind the young adult librarian's desk. How may I help you, Kyle? My friends and I would like to play Bibliomania, but we were wondering, is there a new set of cards? Yes, Kyle, there is. And a fresh stack of cards popped up through the slot in the desk. Chapter 30. We'll just play one bookshelf, said Kyle. Because we're a team now, right, bro? Said Miguel. Right, plus we don't have all day. Well, said Akimi, technically we do. In fact, we have the whole rest of the day and tomorrow till noon. We've got like 19 hours left, said Miguel. But Charles and the others, they could beat us, said Sierra. Right, said Kyle. After all, he is a Chiltington, and according to Sir Charles, they never lose. Miguel, you're the newest member of the team. You spin first. Miguel rubbed his hands together, limbered up his fingers, practiced flicking his index finger and his thumb, made sure he had a good snap and follow-through. Would you hurry up and spin before my brain explodes, pleaded Akimi. No problem. Miguel flicked the plastic pointer. It whirled around the cardboard square decorated with a stun burst of 10 colorful triangles. Booyah! The triple zeros. General knowledge. That's not so great, said Kyle. How come? You get to move 0 spaces. Oh, bummer. Akimi shut up her hand. Yeah, said Kyle. Do we really have to spin and count spaces and all that junk? We have a deadline. Clocks everywhere are ticking against us. Maybe we can all just pull a pink card, suggested Sierra. It's really not how you play the game, said Kyle. We're not really playing this game, Kyle, said Akimi. We're playing the other one, the big game, the one with the ginormous prize. I have to agree with Akimi, said Miguel. Fine, said Kyle. It's against the rules, but pull a pink card. You're sure, bro? Just pull a pink. Miguel quickly sorted the new deck into 10 stacks of different colors. He pulled the pink one on top of the pile. These are different from the regular cards. He turned it over and showed it to the group. It's this little math equation down here. 0 plus 27 plus 0.4 equals ? Easy peasy, said Akimi. The answer is 27.4 because the 0 doesn't change the sum. Not in math, said Miguel, but this isn't math. This is the Dewey Decimal System, and there's always 3 numbers to the left of the decimal point. We need to find the book with a call number 027.4, added Sierra. Fine, said Akimi, but I guarantee you it isn't a math book. The team made their way to the balcony circling the Dewey Decimal doors. Here we go, said Miguel. He slid his library card into the reader labeled 000s. Okay, said Miguel, and here we're going to find general knowledge, almanacs, encyclopedias, bibliographies, books about library science. It's a science, said Akimi. Where do they keep the chemicals? In the library, joked Sierra, who was loosening up. She hadn't read one page of a book in hours. Found it, said Miguel, reaching up to pull a book off the shelf. 027.4. Man, it's old. Look how yellow the pages are. What's that antique's title? Asked Akimi. Get to Know Your Local Library by Amy Alesso and Aaron Downey. Miguel held the book so everyone could see the cover. It was illustrated with a cartoony-looking detective in a checkered hat who was holding up a magnifying glass to examine the books on the shelf. Looks like a library guide for kids, said Miguel, opening the cover to read one of the inside pages. First publication was way back in 1952. He flipped through the few pages. It explains the Dewey Decimal System, contains a glossary of library terms, a brief history of libraries. He reached the back of the book. Awesome. What? Asked Kyle as he and the others moved closer to see what Miguel had found. It's an old-fashioned book slip from the Alexandriaville Public Library. The one they tore down? Yep, and this card, tucked into a sleeve glued on the back cover, comes from the olden days when they used to stamp the date the book was due on a grid and you had to fill in your name under issued to. And look who checked out this book on May 26, 1964. Kyle and the others looked. Luigi Lemoncello. Down on the first floor, Charles used his library card to open a door to the community meeting room A. Who is to have access to this room? Cooed a soothing voice from the ceiling. Me and my teammates, said Charles, Andrew Pickleman and Haley Daly. Thank you. Please have Andrew Pickleman and Haley Daly swipe their cards through the reader now. Both of them did. Thank you. Entrance to the community room A will be limited to those approved by the host, Charles Chiltington. Have a good meeting. Charles and his team entered the sleek, ultra-modern, white-on-white conference room. There were 20 comfy chairs set up around a glass-top table and a cabinet filled with the top-of-the-line audiovisual equipment. You can write on the walls, said Andrew. They're like smart boards at school. Excellent, said Charles, clasping his hands behind his back and pacing around the room. Now, when we find all 12 pictograms and lay them out according to their position on the staff picks display case, they'll recreate a rebus for a phrase that, I'm quite certain, will tell us exactly how to exit the library without triggering any alarms. Therefore, it is time for us all to lay our cards out on the table. Haley nodded and pulled out 2 more silhouettes out of the back pocket of her jeans. I found one of those in a cookbook, she said. The other was from juvenile fiction. Nancy Drew, Mystery at the Lilac Inn. There are blank note cards in this drawer, announced Andrew. We should be able to use them as placeholders for the books we still need to find. They laid out a 3x4 grid of the cards on the tabletop. What does it mean? Said Andrew. Simple, said Charles. It means we need to find the other 6 books. All right, that's all for today. Thank you, and I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.